I'm not gonna sugarcoat. This is mental illness at its final form.
About their safety because I identify as a 6-year-old. Well, guess what?
Jesus Christ.
It doesn't matter.
This is Stephanie Walsh. And this is, or should I say was, Stephanie's family. However,
People, this is ridiculous from the get-go. I've watched 17 seconds and I know this is gonna be a shit show.
at the age of 44, Stephanie decided to leave her family behind for something far more important, to fulfill her lifelong dream of living as a 6-year-old girl.
Why, hello. Welcome to Stephanie's Playtime. I hope my little sockets have been good. We have
Jesus, this feels like some sort of... Have you guys seen Split? If you've seen Split, you know what I'm talking about. Patricia's inside, and Patricia doesn't want you to talk to the beast. That's what it feels like. This feels like psychosis and schizophrenia mixed in one. And don't get me wrong, I've seen some nasty shit in my life. I've spoken to some nasty ladies in my life. Nasty men as well, but in this case ladies, because we're talking about the sexual aspect of things. And I have met some girls that want to be in diapers and goo goo gaga, and I've turned 180 and just gone, hey, it's not my place, not my thing. This feels like that. This feels like fetishization of a younger person and fetishization of being a younger person. Not only can you never be a 6-year-old, you can never be a 6-year-old girl. Because this is clearly a big ass man.
an adventure for you. Come on in and see what we found.
Holy schnitzel.
Stephanie's other videos were equal parts hilarious yet disturbing,
Yep,
and often
I believe that.
featured her best friend, a teddy bear named Strawberry.
That's cute.
Stephanie and Strawberry would often go on public playdates together.
Strawberry, thank you for inviting me for your
Holy
play date.
noodles.
Oh, Strawberry, I love you. I'm so glad you...
Does any of you guys watch stuff and then feel like the chill in your back? Like it's like a feeling. That's what I feel. Yeah.
waited here for me. I missed you.
However, not everything was smooth sailing for Stephanie, as Canada's lack of public gender-neutral washrooms triggered her severe gender dysphoria. Apparently, Stephanie would rather relieve herself in the middle of a restaurant than use a gendered washroom.
I really just gotta go pee.
So they have a men's washroom and a women's washroom.
Sorry.
But why didn't they
What?
just call them bathrooms?
You might be thinking, well, this is just satire for a silly skit. In real life,
It does look
Stephanie
like it.
doesn't actually act like a 6-year-old, does she? Actually, she does.
Wow. My noodles of holy noodles. This is oh Sancta Maria, oh, holy noodle, come and bless me. Okay, let's take a deep breath here, boys and girls. If you are identifying as a 6-year-old girl, why didn't you just go to the women's bathroom? How is this triggering a gender dysphoria? This doesn't make any sense. This makes zero sense, even within the unsensible, nonsensible. Let's say now you are a 60-year-old man, then you go to the male toilet. Let's say you are a 6-year-old girl. What does that mean? You go to the, say it with me, boys and girls, female toilet. Yay! Ding, ding. Why did you have to pee? Like, it just looks like a ploy for attention. You peed in the middle of the restaurant, not in the middle, but like in the restaurant. You squat down, took a pee in the middle of the door, back and forth, to go to the toilet because it triggered your gender dysphoria seeing that there were female and male bathrooms. I'm sorry, what?
Stephanie took being a 6-year-old girl very seriously, so
I'm sure.
naturally, she needed a playroom for all of her dolls.
Today is my first day of having my living room as my playroom. Anyways, I just wanted you to see I made a tutu with my sewing machine.
Is that a diaper?
And it's
Is that a diaper underneath?
for pretending to be a little fairy. A little ballerina fairy.
Okay, I decline. I'm calling bullshit. I'm calling heavy bullshit. A 6-year-old doesn't use a diaper anymore. Most 6-year-olds don't want to be in a diaper. They're like, I'm a big girl, or I'm a big boy. I don't need that. I can go to the toilet. Look at how good I am. Oh, look, I want to jog like you, daddy. Or, oh, I want to use makeup like you, mommy. That's what they are. This is not a 6-year-old. This is, by every definition, it's a pacifier here. Look, it's Tinkerbell and a pacifier. Like, it's not often, like, you're in kindergarten. 6 years old, you're in kindergarten. Like, this is a fetish. This is not gender dysphoric.
So I love having this, and I have my Tinkerbell shirt from Kathy. Miss Kathy gave me this sweatshirt, and I have my sus. So that I'm not scared.
Stephanie really bought into her child identity and was so convincing that she even fooled some waitstaff into thinking she was 6 years old.
I love being 6 years old.
Right there, it's reminding me of J.P. Morgan, or J.P. Spears, or whatever it's called, the guy who speaks, like does a lot of these. I don't know what it. I saw him being like a yogi and like talking about meat eater versus broccoli and alkaline and stuff. He makes a lot of satire, and he sounded just like that there.
Strawberry, you wouldn't imagine the adventures I've been having today. Oh my, there's so much to tell.
I'm sure there is. Holy noodles.
You want something to drink with that?
Can I have a beer?
Oh, you can't have a beer. You're only 6 years old.
What do you mean? That's not
Despite
fooling. He's
being
playing
only
into
6
his
years old,
delusion.
Stephanie enjoyed alcohol and cracking wildly inappropriate jokes.
I couldn't help but notice a little something coming out of your skirt.
Oh, yeah. Last night, I wished for a little tail, and look, a little tail.
This is a grown man talking, and with a butt plug tail. Well, I hope it's not a butt plug tail, but a tail. Like this is not. This is frustrating. I don't even know what to call this. Honestly, this is some wild shit.
That was a dream come true. This beer here, 3 years old. Ready? Oh my God, that's disgusting. But it's 3 years old, like wine.
Clearly not the worst thing you've ever had in your mouth.
One of the shortest things I've had in my mouth.
Uber, you're absolutely correct. This is insane. Like, first and foremost, you're pretending that you're 6, and then you're drinking beer and barbecuing, and then have a butt plug tail. Can you guys see what I'm seeing here? This is not somebody with genuine schizophrenia or gender dysphoria. This is somebody who's fetishizing being young. Like, this is sick. Okay, let me have a look here. Yeah, definitely sickness or perversion. 100%, Uber. This is because it's like it's clearly a fetishization of being young. Because no 6-year-old wears a diaper. Like, and maybe they do because they have bladder issues or something. But this is a diaper. It's a butt plug. It's beer, and then pretending when they're outside not to be able to order beer so that they can feel young. Like, this is wild to me.
One of the shortest things I've had in my mouth.
And then having sex jokes as a 6-year-old.
In addition to a witty sense of humor and incredible fashion sense, Stephanie was also a talented rapper.
Oh no, please don't.
Hey, looky, see you looking at me. Freaky in a dress, got a setter message free. Yeah, I said her, but for now just let it be. Sometimes the mind doesn't see what others see. They put the lime in the coconut and mixed it all up. Hey, you, that's my coconut. Oh shit, what the fuck? Made the parts in my crotch feel funny to me when something's hanging out every time I go pee.
However,
Boys and girls, I have officially found one of the most disturbing 6-year-old trans people that I've ever seen in my life.
not everyone was fond of Stephanie. Typical Leafs fan. Hey, that is no way for a 6-year-old girl to talk. This is what rock bottom looks like. So what exactly did rock bottom look like? For Stephanie, it meant going to prison for crimes we'll discuss later, where she'd cope with being a criminal by doing what she does best, being
Victim?
a 6-year-old girl.
Yeah, victim. Just
Like
trying to
going
hide.
to jail and spending 9 days in solitary, it's hard. But even in jail, I played.
I
made it
played.
a kingdom. I sang songs in there, and I just would not be an adult, so they couldn't hurt me.
According to Stephanie, it had always been this way. Ever since she was a 6-year-old boy, she knew she wanted to be a 6-year-old girl.
I turned 6 in 1969, and
I mean, what am I watching, dog? What is this?
it may have been that the news was covering Stonewall, that I knew that I saw something there that I identified with. I think I knew to hide myself even at 6 years old. I knew I was different, and this wasn't normal. Girls looked a certain way and boys looked a certain way. But prior to that, I didn't even realize there were girls and boys. I think at 6 years old, with school and stuff, you became...
Are you genuinely telling me at 6 years old you weren't cognitive enough to understand what a boy and a girl was? That says more about you. Like, it could be that he has some clinical retardation. That could absolutely be that his IQ is very low. And if that's the case, yeah, my bad. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's just clinically not mentally there. But other than that, there isn't a... If I ask my little sisters or something, what is a... do you know what you are? Yeah, I'm a boy, I'm a girl. I know the boys are there. The boys are dirty. They're whatever, stinky. They're always throwing boogers at people. Whatever. Like, it doesn't matter. It's arbitrary. But this is insane to say that you don't understand what the difference was at 6.
I'm more aware. I soon started taking my older sister's hand-me-down dresses. I remember going out of my way to take this yellow dress out of the hand-me-down closet, and that was my first dress.
From there, Stephanie continued to grow up and eventually met Maria, her now ex-wife, in high school.
So going...
I'm sorry, I gotta stop it so much on this one, but he gotta grow up. Isn't that a bit ironic, considering he considers himself 10 times younger than he is, and never grew up from being 6?
Going through high school, yeah, we did do the boyfriend-girlfriend dating stuff.
Oh, really?
And secretly, I was still dressing and
But that's no
getting
problem.
better at
Cross-dressing
hiding
is not an issue.
Despite all of this,
Do your
the
thing,
couple would
dog.
eventually get married and have 7 children together. And for the next 23 years, Maria would protect Stephanie's secret. However, this all changed in 2014, when Stephanie decided she wanted to be a 6-year-old girl in public.
Jesus.
Maria had finally reached her limit.
In the end, I just
Fully understandable.
identified myself as a male lesbian.
Jesus Christ. See, now, this is the cognitive dissonance that's going on. I understand wanting to dress up in women's clothing. That's okay. I understand wanting to be whipped and being a beta male. That's okay. I understand being submissive. I understand that I don't mind most things. But when you're saying I'm a male lesbian, you're a male lesbian? You call yourself a male? You're saying you're a girl, but then you say you're a male lesbian? Like, it's confusion my brain. My brain not too large for this, okay? My brain very small, okay? Very small. This is very large issue. I don't understand.
If that even exists, but that would be
It's
the only
called
way
being
to explain
straight.
how I came to terms with who I am and how I feel. How she felt, I'm not sure. I thought she had accepted me for that, but
That's what I mean.
obviously 23 years later,
Male,
she
lesbian,
asked
straight
me
male.
to make a choice, and she had grown tired of it.
Of
after
course.
that time.
After coming out to Maria,
I'm shocked that you're such a loving wife that she would, in private, allow you to be a 6-year-old girl. A male lesbian 6-year-old girl. Can you guys fathom the cognitive dissonance? A lesbian trapped in a man's body. That is exactly what it is. That wife was a saint. The fact that you ever let her go is insanity to me.
Stephanie came out to her children as well.
For the most part, the kids were pretty good.
Really?
And,
Really?
The
Were they?
times when they were frustrated,
Of course.
I understand. It's an adjustment.
No, it's not.
I think they would have preferred that it not be the way it was.
You
But
think?
If that's the way it's gonna be, then they would make the best of it, and they're good little. The rest of them are all good allies.
However, after learning about their father's
Allies?
true identity, the children struggled to adapt. To deal with this, they wrote notes to Stephanie describing their feelings. I feel kind of weird that you wear dresses. Dad, I feel it is very embarrassing to see you walk around like that.
Yep.
I hate how you always make jokes about being a girl. It makes me feel weird around you. Seriously.
Listen, if my dad came out and said, "Hi son, I am 6-year-old girl." First and foremost, my uncles will all beat him. I'm not gonna lie. It's not the environment to be that. But let's take that aside. I would be like, "You're a 6-year-old girl, so what do you want from me? Like, you cannot physically then be my dad. Because you are a 6-year-old girl. So how are you expecting people to see you as their dad if you are now a 6-year-old girl?" My brain is in pain. Can anybody explain that to me? Like, I'm genuinely curious. How can you say, "I am your dad of 6 years old, a male lesbian, 6-year-old girl with a butt plug, drinking beer, and having sexual jokes at the same time, I am your dad"? My brain. You know those cartoons? That's my brain right now.
I'm not crazy about the fact that you wish you were a girl. Every time I see you, I think you were about to walk upstairs and change into something girly or say something girly. I still love you for being my father, but you try to act like my mother.
Ooh.
According to Stephanie, her family was unsupportive of her new identity and forced her to leave.
Fully
Please,
understandable.
go make up with your children. Live whatever life you want to live, but at least attempt to be part of their lives in whatever small way
What great
possible.
comments they had.
You don't understand. I never abandoned them. They asked me to leave and leave them alone. I can't contact them. Keeping that in mind, there are always two sides to every story.
Oh yeah.
Shortly after the divorce, a restraining order was filed against Stephanie due to her
Oh no. 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 How bad is this gonna be?
threats, assaults, damages, and harassment towards the family. Stephanie's daughter Nicole, who was only 13 at the time, recalled the incident in a Facebook post. "I wish there was a documentary about the people that you call monsters. You were a really good dad before we knew. You did everything you tell people you did, like take us to school and give me at least 4 hugs a day. But once you told us your difference, it was like you thought you didn't have to be a parent. We didn't ask for a father, just a parent, and you couldn't be that anymore. There were days..."
Jesus, this little kid had some real cognitive ability. We didn't ask for a father, we asked for a parent. Like, she was really respectful. Like, this is much more respectful than I would have been, I think. And much more cognitive at that age than I was.
that if I didn't want to paint your nails, you threatened to stop helping me with homework. I was
What the fuck?
13 when you left, and you say that you couldn't handle the fact that we filed a restraining order. People need to know that you can't get a restraining order for being of a different mindset.
This is true.
You were a physical threat to Mom, and the day you left, more than one of your children thought you were going to come back to harm us. With this in mind, it was still I and 2 other children of yours who reached out to you on Father's Day, where I genuinely wanted to get closer to you. You took it as mockery.
I was gonna say he's probably gonna take that as mockery because he's not a father anymore, because he's a mother, because he's a 6-year-old mother. Hey, I don't know what to say.
And told me you didn't want me in your life, and told me to go to hell.
Wow, okay.
So thank you for continuing to make us out to be horrible people. Unsurprisingly, Stephanie's version of the story sounded a bit different.
A little bit, yeah.
Please text me if you want to, but I'm not ready for a call. Happy Father's Day. And I respond with, I'm going to kill myself.
Those are
Bye.
children who are traumatized. We're there to protect our kids, Steph.
No, you were there to protect your kid. I haven't seen my kid.
Jesus Christus, of all the Christs. You know when you have like when you're watching something and you're thinking it can't get worse than this, and then it gets worse. A 13-year-old, I'm not sure if it was 13 at the time, but messaged and said, "Hey, I happy Father's Day. I'm happy that you're, whatever." And they go, "I'm gonna kill myself." What the? What response is that? What sane parent does that?
Kids in 5 years.
But
Completely ignoring the advice of her friends, Stephanie then doubled down on this in a Facebook post. Facebook took down the friend request post from my daughter that was so hurtful towards me because I violated their policy. I hope all these haters, including my kids, are happy. This is my last posting here. I'm done with this BS. They don't deserve a father, transgender or not.
What the
At this point for Stephanie,
saying they don't deserve a father, transgender or not, is wild. You birthed them. You have to take care of them, or should take care of them. You don't have to. You're clearly showing that you don't have to.
there was no going back. After she permanently destroyed her biological family, Stephanie decided it was time to join a new family. But this time, as a 60-year-old child. I have a mommy and daddy, an adopted mommy and daddy, who are totally comfortable with me being
because
a little
they're
girl,
equally as sick.
and their children and their grandchildren are totally supportive.
Jesus Christ.
Stephanie had previously lived as an 8-year-old girl until the couple's granddaughter asked her to be the younger sister instead. A year ago,
Hey, I'm an 8-year-old girl. Can you be younger than me? I want a younger sister. Of course, now I'm 6. Woohoo!
I was 8 and she was 7. And she said to me, "I want you to be the little sister, so I'll be 9. I said, "Well, I don't mind going to 6, so I've been 6 ever since." Stephanie's new identity as a child also meant she was now free of the responsibilities an adult would have to endure. In the winter, Stephanie earned money by plowing snow, and when she was at home with her adoptive family, they colored and did kid stuff. It's called play therapy, no medication, no suicide thoughts, and I just get to play. Although this may seem wholesome at first, Stephanie's relationship with her parents was anything but that.
Of course, I told you, this is sexual shit. Let me paint your story here. You come home, you've been tired. A whole day of work, you say. Oh, what's that? Is that my little 6-year-old child screaming in the background? Google Gaga, Daddy, are you home? Oh, I'm home, my little child. How about us taking off that dirty diaper? Oh, Daddy, Google Gaga, where's my pacifier? You know where this is going, right? You know where this is going? You know who's sick? You know this is sexual? You understand it, right? This is wild. This is not about being transgender anymore. This has nothing to do with transgenderism. This has to do with sexualization of loads of things they probably shouldn't sexualize.
Stephanie had originally met.
Oh, see, I told you, FetLife. It's on FetLife.
A social.
If you don't know, FetLife is literally the largest place for BDSM and kink community, right? And it's a very toxic site. I've been on there, of course, but it's a very toxic site there. I was on there for like maybe 5 days and I deleted it. I couldn't deal with it. It's the people that's on there are messed up, and like you want to be into some fetish and kinky stuff. I implore you, my brothers and sisters, don't do it via FetLife. Do it via like any other means, like go to a club or something. But it's a wild thing. This thing.
Social media platform for the fetish community. Upon meeting, it was love at first sight for the quote-unquote father and daughter.
He took my and it didn't hurt. It felt beautiful. I felt like a woman.
What the
and like, I'm surprised. I didn't think I was going to be pregnant. Like, I was so much a girl. And
what
I actually have an right now from it. So I'm just going to pull my dress down a little bit.
While incredibly disturbing in its own right, from a legal point of view, there wasn't necessarily anything wrong with Stephanie and her adoptive father's relationship.
Calm down now, guys. Calm down. You gotta decide: are you a grown person that's able to consent, or are you not a grown person that's not able to consent and have a family? You gotta decide. You can't be both.
On the other hand, the same cannot be said about Stephanie's comments on taking down flower girls as young as 3 years old.
I'm
I
sorry,
can officially
what?
say I'm the world's biggest flower girl. I don't like, you know, if a bigger flower girl comes along, I'll take her out. I can take her down. I've taken down so many flower girls. Like these little 3-year-olds come up to me, say, "You're not a flower girl." I said, "Don't push it, kid. I can so take you on. I'm 6."
Despite making disgusting comments like these, Stephanie didn't seem to understand why she didn't have more fans.
You've probably noticed by now that Stephanie is being trended because of some of the hate that's been out there. I'm glad everyone is watching my videos and learning about transphobia.
Dog, you are the reason for transphobia. I am fearful. If you popped up in my nightmares being my sleep demon, I would be paralyzed and I'd be like screaming. There's no way I wouldn't be screaming. You're terrifying. And when I'm saying you're terrifying, I'm saying you're terrifying in the sense that if any of your mind coochies jumped over to me and my mind coochies were scrambled and I'd end up like that, I would be ashamed. Not because you're trans, but because you're sick. There's plenty of cool trans people, but this isn't one.
And the hate crimes towards trans people. And because of that, I have a secret to tell you. Come a little closer.
Ugh.
A little bit closer.
Please don't. This is Sleep Demon again.
I'd like you to be my socket. Sockets are what I have down on my socks because it's hard for boys to get frilly socks. And so we have these little frilly sockets that we can add to
For
any
boys?
sock. And it shows that we're not transphobic and we're okay that sometimes boys identify as girls. And it's the difference between the given gender.
Dog. This is not what people are commenting on. This is not what people are commenting on. This is...
And our self-expressed gender, and it's called transgender. So if you are a socket and you'd like to learn more about supporting the trans community and stopping transphobia, look into my website and find out about how you too can purchase sockets and
From my
support
website,
trans
here's the
people in your
plug.
community.
Buy my stuff.
While, quote, supporting trans people in your community might seem like a noble idea to some people, there is no mention of any partners or charities Steph's Island Playtime is aligned with. Instead, it seemed that proceeds from the sockets were going straight to Stephanie's pockets.
Told ya.
We also can't
Told ya.
ignore the soundtrack Stephanie graciously provides us. Let's set the mood as she
Oh, no.
intended.
No. I got the chills again.
The
I got the
rest of
chills again.
Stephanie's website contained even more concerning content, including an entire section dedicated.
Listen. Okay. Hey, guys. I will again drag you down into the deepest darkness of the abyss of the internet here, okay? DDLG means daddy's little girl. Age play is age regression often. Age play is often when you regress to a certain age. Let's say you're now 30 and you regress to 6 like this person has done, right? That's age play. However, this is very rarely permanent, right? It's age play. They're playing. Still disturbing as shit, but age play. DDLG, not so bad. It's like daddy's little girl. You can be a 25-year-old and be like, oh, daddy. It's not the same, but it can also be nasty. It can also be incorporated with age play. You can be daddy's little girl and age regress, but you don't have to age regress to be daddy's little girl. If you get what I mean. Any other questions? Class dismissed.
Dedicated towards age play. If you aren't familiar with the topic, let's hear from sex therapist Heather Shannon.
Oh, somebody else is telling too.
So age play is a type of kinky play where at least
Kinky,
one of the
very
people
important.
in the scene is going to be playing with age by typically reducing their age to a child.
Typically.
So you might hear the term little, and that's going to mean anybody who is playing a part of about like 8 or younger.
In addition to featuring videos like this one, Stephanie's website also featured a chat room for the community. Hey all you fine littles and sissies, welcome to a fun...
If you don't know what a sissy is, it's a... like a sissification is like when you're like being forced to be girly as a man, basically.
Island of sand and beach. Bring your best friends, a buck and shovel, and your imagination for a fun-filled holiday on Steph Sissy Island. Please come
So
back
he's saying he's a man.
whenever you need a
What the
friend
hell?
that believes in the power of play. Hugs, Stephanie. Unfortunately for Stephanie, Not everyone was a fan of Steph's Sissy Island.
Of course not.
Men, you need to accept the reality. Go to a therapist who tells you the truth, not just what you want to hear. Facts over feelings. You're dying. Paul Stephanie Walsh is a dangerous.
Oh yeah,
However,
100%.
Anonymous
I'm not sure about
internet
the last
users
part,
weren't the
but
only ones fed
it's
up with
dangerous.
Stephanie, as she had also made enemies within the transgender community, including
that's what I
popular
thought.
trans influencer Blair White.
People like Stephanie actually use the trans label as a protective force field.
This transgender is a funny one. Always like, always cracks me up, makes me laugh. It's a funny guy, guy. I mean, his own thing is we are not girls, we're a type of dude. So, I mean, I don't think he would be angry at me saying hi.
Field to stop people from criticizing their predatory behavior.
100%.
It's not who they are, it is their scapegoat.
Yep,
Now,
that's what I
Stephanie
said
is
in the beginning.
not a trans woman. Stephanie is a fetishist posing
100%.
as a trans woman.
Not
If you
even
don't
a question.
believe me, Stephanie actually has a FetLife
Yep.
account, right? Where the entire basis of their posts and activity is on them being trans. That's not being trans.
No.
Sorry.
That brings us to today, where Stephanie has big news to share to the world.
Oh no.
She had finally released her long-awaited autobiography.
Stephanie's Princess Journey of 60 years being CX.
Holding on by a thread
No!
is a beautiful autobiography that
I was
captures
wrong.
the human spirit through the eyes of a persecuted transgender individual on the edge of
Persecuted,
society. The story focuses on exposing systemic shortcomings, inclusivity, and human perseverance.
Okay.
Tragically, the only shortcoming of Stephanie's story seemed to be the book itself.
Yeah.
A tale of narcissism. There is nothing heartwarming about this. A man abandons his wife and kids in order to live a life devoted to fantasy and misogyny.
I don't agree with the misogyny part. I haven't read the book, but like so far from what I've seen, it's not misogynistic. He's just sick.
Author claims victim status.
Yep, he does.
Yet actually seems to be the perpetrator.
Yep, it seems.
Not worth reading at all. Normalizing harm to women and children.
Okay, that's my
Man with
picture.
autogynephilia and other issues. Deserted wife and 7 children to identify as a 6-year-old girl.
Yeah.
He demands entrance to female-only spaces that include your underage daughter.
Yeah. Yeah,
When will
sad.
we wake up from this?
Nasty.
Yes, read it and see what is really going on.
If this was my daughter and she was going into a space with a man like this, there's no way I would allow it. I would be like, you're coming home with me and we're doing whatever shower, whatever we're doing at home. Let's say it was like a not a gym class, but like a swimming lesson, right? And then there's like, oh yeah, we have to go through the girls' locker room, and the mom's not there. I'm like, no, we're not doing this today. We're going home. Or I'd have to get the mom or something, or a really good female friend or something. I wouldn't ever allow my daughter to be alone with a person like this or not even alone, even with people. I wouldn't ever allow it. No way. To be in the showers or anything with them. No way. Absolutely not.
On, and what is being normalized that a short time ago was clearly identified as mental illness and or fetish.
Yeah.
Naysayers aside, Stephanie, who is now 60, has made it her mission to help develop programs and protocols for transgender inclusion and awareness in Canada. According to Stephanie, her life story of resilience stands as a testament to her profound commitment to utilizing
What the
personal
fuck?
challenges as a means to educate, entertain, and inspire inclusion and acceptance throughout the world.
Okay. I think this type of activity should warrant an investigation. Yes, the daughter of that family is major risk factors, right? I'm never ever gonna shame somebody for being kinky or for wanting to do pet play or for wanting to do bondage or for wanting to do latex or for wanting to do any of these things. Any water play, it doesn't matter to me. Like, I don't give a single flying shit if it doesn't affect me or my people. But sadly, this affects me and my people, because people like this are going to be the people that are now predatorial and are going to go into the women's bathrooms and are going to go into the showers, and they are going to make problems for my sisters, for my mother, for my potential daughter. And this is a fundamental problem that I have to and should be dealing with. We need to have these conversations, because there's one thing being trans and there's one thing being a fetishist. And being a fetishist like this is incredibly damaging and dangerous. And I completely agree, Uber, that it should warrant an investigation.
Now, whether any of this is true or not is up for you to decide. However, one thing is for certain. The story of Stephanie Walsh is truly an unforgettable tale.
100%. Definitely unforgettable. Holy shit, I had a big rant there.